Okay, can you give your name first of all and your candidate number?
Hi, my name is Kipng'eno Chirchir and my candidate number is 7019.
Okay, and the sport you've chosen as a performer is?
My two sports are basketball and rugby as a performer.
Okay, so the first one is going to be on?
Basketball.
Okay, and can you give the strengths you've identified in your performance in basketball, please?
For basketball, I identified that I had three main strengths. The first one was dribbling, as I was able to get past defenders in the video. This was due to consistent extension at the elbow and flexion at the elbow, so I had constant dribbling motion. And there's consistent power from the triceps during the extension, which meant I didn't have to look down, and aided by good hand-eye coordination, I didn't have to look down at the ball and make sure I was bouncing at the correct height. I was able to look up at the defenders and my teammates in case I needed to pass the ball. Also, my layup and my very short jump shot were very good because I was able to have a good preparation phase. So due to good flexion at the knees before I went for the drive, and an effective two steps going into it to generate power. This helped the execution phase. Because I had such a good preparation phase, I was able to get explosive power coming from the quadriceps and gastrocnemius. This allows me to jump up off the floor. This elevated me above the defenders, combined with a good shoulder and elbow extension here to get my arm up above the defenders. Got me close to the basket and even higher above the defenders, so it's an easier layup / shot. And with a little flick of the wrist, add backspin onto it, so if it hit the backboard, it would just go straight in, and the result was 100% accuracy. Third and last was my passing, and I also found that I had 100% completion rate on my passes. This was due to a good preparation again, good elbow flexion and shoulder abduction, so the ball was in a nice strong position out here. Good flexion in the knees as well. This led to a good execution because I had good flexion. When I extended them, power is generated from my quads, and then speed is added from the pectorals and triceps upon extension here. And also shoulder abduction, elbow flexion happens. This allows me the pass to be quick and is able to beat the defender, so it's an easier layup or shot for my teammate.
Okay, so also from your performance, were there any weaknesses that you identified?
My weaknesses, I found two key weaknesses. The first was shooting. I was able to shoot, but when set, but off the dribble, I found I was unable to score, and this was due to there's a slight abduction at the shoulder, so instead of my shoulder being nice and square in here, it was slightly off here due to shoulder abduction. This put the shot off center, and this affected my accuracy. Also, my feet weren't set. Normally your feet are meant to be shoulder width apart when you shoot, but my feet were slightly too close together. This reduces my center of balance, putting me off balance, which affects my accuracy. However, my power that I generated was still good, but that isn't relevant because my accuracy was off. Also, I found my defensive stance was very inconsistent, and this was due to sometimes the arms being abducted and sometimes they aren't. Normally, a defensive stance, you'd have your knees flexed like this, you'd have one arm up and one arm down, depending on which way you're defending. If like this, I found that mine was very inconsistent because sometimes I had my hands up, sometimes they were down, and also sometimes my feet were set and sometimes they weren't, and this was due to a lack of hand and feet coordination, and also a lack of awareness due to too much ball watching at times, and also this led to bad rebounding because I was unable to box out because I wasn't paying attention because of my lack of awareness. And also there's a lack of flexion in the knees generated, so I wasn't able to jump above the attacker to get the rebound.
Okay, any other weaknesses? Or?
No, that's all my weaknesses.
From the weaknesses identified, what strategies and tactics have you come up with to rectify these?
First, for the shooting, I created a simple drill like so. You'd start here, it's a 5-meter sprint to the spot, and this puts you off balance, so because you've run 5 meters, it also makes the game realistic by working on your acceleration and agility. And then what you do is you take the shot from here, the basket's somewhere up here. This is able to work on your shot off the dribble, so you're not always set, and you do it off the other hand, so to make sure that you can shoot off both hands. And then to make it add on to the drill even more, what you do is you'd have the 5-meter sprint, but once you get there, you'd pump fake, so instead of going straight up on the shot, you'd pump fake in order to fake out the defender so you can have an easier shot. And then to add on to the drill even more, what I would do is I would add a defender to make it even more game realistic, so they have to keep up with you and you have to try and get the shot before them. This adds that competition element to the drill. On the flip side, I would change the drill again, where I'd have it in reverse. So I'd start here. I'd start here, and what I'd do is I would run backwards. This puts me even off balance even more, and this is obviously a harder shot because I'm running backwards. This will pay off in a game, however, because what happens is you're able to get more space between yourself and the defender, allowing for an easier shot. Also, as my defensive stance, a very simple zigzag drill here. What you do is you shadow, if I take myself as the green, you shadow the attacker, who is the red, up to the free throw line, and then you shadow them up to halfway and continue on until you go to the baseline. And what you're working on is to make sure that your hand is in the correct position. So one arm in the passing lane, one arm down here in case for the steal. This to stop the pass, this for the steal, and you just shadow them. And once you get to the free throw line, it's a very swift and effective pass where this hand comes into the stealing lane, and this one goes into the passing lane, making sure they cannot pass, and you just carry on shadowing them. And to build on from this, what I would do is I'd have the same drill, but from halfway, it's a live game to add that competition element and make it more game realistic. In terms of rebounding, first you start off with a Superman drill where you'd have the backboard here, and what you do is you want to be close enough that you throw the ball off the backboard, and when you jump up you receive it a full extension, because that's where you want to be rebounding the ball. So you just throw the ball off the backboard, catch it, and repeat it a number of times. This really focuses on leg power, so it helps in training in terms of doing plyometrics, box jumps and bounds in order to get as high as you can for maximum height. And you build on from this by adding someone having a shot, and then you have to box out an attacker and make sure you get the rebound as well, making sure that when you're boxing out you have the correct position, which is flex knees, bum out, so they're as far away from the ball, so if they try to get the ball they have to go over you, which is your foul.
Okay, thank you very much.